Welcome to the Strong Mind, Strong Body podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Summers, and this week I'd like to talk about build your own life, not someone else's. You see, I was in a business this week and we were just talking about how things are going, right? Everything's kind of volatile right now, right? But all they could come back and tell me about their business is how other people's businesses were doing. What this one's doing, how they are doing this, how their personal business is not doing as much as this other one, or they don't have the opportunities that this other business has. I mean, it was just everything that came out of their mouth was telling me that these other people are doing X, Y, and Z. We don't have the same opportunities, and nothing was about what they could do. And it's kind of like that whole, we get in this mindset of, I wasn't brought up that way, so I don't get this certain privilege, or I don't get these opportunities, or I don't get this. And it's like, it is 2025. There are more opportunities for more individuals out there if you're willing to do the work. And that's the thing. And that's what I think this is all going to circle around today to, is literally just doing the work. It's not sexy. It's not a 5-step hack. I don't have that morning routine for you. I don't have the ultimate weekday setup plan. I don't got any of that. Sorry. It's all going to come down to work. And it's not going to be pretty. There's going to be some days where you just want to burn the motherfucker down. And that is when you know you're in the right direction. That's when you know you're onto something. You see, you ever find yourself scrolling social media, watching someone else, they crush it, and just feeling like you're behind, like you're inept, or you're just like, man, they're doing all this stuff, right? The hard truth is, the more time we spend watching others, the less time we spend building stuff ourselves. It's great for inspiration. Trust me. I mean, you can, you got the vision boards, or, I follow, the hustlers or this or that, and watch what they're doing. And it's all great. The inspiration's awesome, right? If your algo's looking like freaking Lamborghinis, dude's killing it, and success and family and all that good stuff, hey, that's amazing. I get it. That's what mine's looking like too, right? A lot of cars. But you get in this mindset of all these people are doing these things, and we're just kind of sitting there scrolling through, and just looking at what everybody else is doing, while we're sitting on our ass watching them build their life. We're not building anything. But yeah, when it comes down to it, of why we're not where we want to be in life, and I don't care who you are, where you're from, what you're doing. I don't care if you have this front of, I'm so happy where I'm at. Very, very few people are. If you're really, truly honest with yourself. I have a funny feeling that when you're laying in bed at night, or you're sitting alone in your car, or you're just have that alone time with your thoughts, you feel like you could do more, right? You feel like, I feel like I could have just did a little bit better. Or I wish I was maybe this further along by the time I was this age. Even if you're still achieving those goals right now, you're like, you know what? I'm in my 40s. I wish I would have been here. And it's this obsession that starts to set in, right? And I get it. Like I am, I don't know, maybe this is more for me than it is for you guys. But we start obsessing of what we're not and where we're not. And it kind of pulls us back a little bit, right? If I'm just being real. And with the whole obsession thing is social media and comparison culture, right? We live in this highlight reel world. You know, it's the tip of the iceberg, if you will. But you open up the gram, you open up to TikTok, Facebook, X, whatever it is, and you just get this little tiny snippet of what's great in this person's life, right? You know, and I heard something many months ago, and it was oh my gosh, what was it? It was the overnight success of 15 years. People love to say that you're an overnight success from 15 years of hard work. But all they see and all they are celebrating is, wow, the cars, or damning you for, right? Oh, it's the cars and the success and the money and the vacations and this and that. But what they don't see is grinding your face off for 15 years, for 10 years, 7 years, 5 years, whatever it is. They don't see the grind. They don't see you at 2 o'clock in the morning wondering if you're going to make bills. They don't see you on a Thursday afternoon wanting to just walk away from everything and go get a regular job. They don't see you mentally struggling with sitting in a job knowing that you are damn well better than what you're doing and you want to build something, and you have this constant battle between this is safe being here, but I'm meant for more. And that is powerful. Because when you start realizing that you're meant for more, what you're going to build is going to be, will change the world. Period. Done and done. There's no question about it. You know, we also in this Insta world, we have the FOMO, fear of missing out. You know, we see all these people, they're on these vacations and they're going and doing these things, and you know, it's just like, oh, I want to go here and I want to go this. Why are they're always on vacation, they're always doing this? And again, it goes right back to a comparison. We're comparing our life to theirs. And again, what we don't know is that vacation might look happy. Are they? How long have they busted their ass to get there on that vacation? How many years did they not take a vacation? How many years did they drive that shitbox car before they're in their Lambo, before they're in their Audi, whatever it is that you're looking at, just like, why do they have that and I don't have this? Well, I guarantee you, and the most successful people you'll ever encounter, if you just ask them, how do I do what you do? They would love to take you out and tell you how they did it. But it's going to come down to work. And it's also going to come down to asking them. And even that step right there is harder than most people will ever do in their lives. Because there's this, it's like this mental block of, we just like, no, I could never do. I could never be. You're right. With that mindset, like I said, this isn't a hack, right? I don't have the answer to change that. But I will tell you this, is when you start realizing, like, no, I am enough. I can do. It begins to unlock this whole other world of just success and gratitude, and more importantly, self-awareness of what you are capable of doing. Because you have an opportunity to do great things. You just got to take that step, right? You know, it's, you know, the fear of missing out, the comparison, the illusion of they have it easier. See, everybody has battles. We just don't see them. And again, it goes right back to what I was talking about is that 2:00 in the morning, you might like, there's this thing I heard years ago and it just bothered the shit out of me was, it's, if you're living for the weekend, let me get it right. What is it? If you're living for the weekend, then your priorities aren't straight. Or something. I know I'm butchering that, right? It was Gary V, dude. Love Gary V. But it put me in this mindset about 10 years ago. It's like, no, man, my weekends shouldn't be enjoyed, and I got to get it done. But then what I realized is when I started enjoying my weekend was when I started working on myself. Was when I started working on becoming who I wanted to become. When I started working on the things that brought joy, that brought happiness to me, right? Because it was this battle of I'm not doing enough, but I'm not where I want to be, right? We're not doing enough, but yet we're not where we want to be. And what do? 99.9% of the time, me, okay? Maybe it's just me. Maybe the only person in the world that does this is we shut down and we sit there and we don't do anything. And day in after day out goes by and we haven't worked on dick. And the day comes and we just sit there and just scrolling through, just thinking about all the things that everybody else has that you don't. Maybe you're good with it, maybe you're not. But if you're listening to this, I have a funny feeling that you're not good with it. Maybe this is that push. Maybe this is that push for me, right? Maybe it's that push to, hey, just go for it, right? There is a substantial cost with watching others, right? It's wasted time, right? How many hours do we lose watching instead of working? And I don't want to use work in a sense of like, you got to work 24/7, 365, grind your face off. Like, I am not that guy, okay? I like to be lazy with y'all, okay? But there's also things you could be doing. You love to sit on your ass and scroll on the gram. Sit on your ass, scroll on the gram, get some inspiration, post some stuff up. Work towards that life. You like to sit on your ass and scroll through some things. Start reaching out to these people that are doing these things. Like it is the craziest thing. You can literally reach out to just about anybody and get a reply back and create a dialogue. Get in the room. There's something I've always used is, you go to events and stuff, to see speakers or whatever, but it's like, no, I want to go to these because I want to get in the halls. I want to get in the rooms with these people that go to these events. Well, you have the opportunity to be in these rooms with these people all on their social medias. And yes, this is very heavy into social media because, God, how much time do we spend just scrolling and going and looking and just all of it, right? And so much wasted time. What is it? There's a thing on Apple where it pops up, you spent this amount of screen time per day. I don't know where they get some of those numbers, but I've had it pop up. I'm like, oh, wow. Yeah, I really didn't do anything this week except for scroll. Maybe look up, plan on ChatGPT or whatever it is. But I mean, just like, holy smokes, And you look at that as wasted time. It's like, holy crap, I literally wasted 5 hours a day, which I don't think I did, but hey, it calls you out, right? Say it's half of that, 2.5 hours. If you spend 2.5 hours a day working on something for you, and it doesn't have to be a business, it could be reading a book or working on personal development or growing, or there's a topic or an idea that you want to get better at, and you can literally read about it. You can research it and be more knowledgeable about it. Maybe you're sucking shit at work and you're like, I need to work on some things, but then you come home and you're like, I'm just too dead, and you're just, brain dead, you're growing through it. Well, maybe spend an hour of that brain dead time working on being a little bit better at work. There's so many different avenues that you can take in this wasted time to better yourself and grow yourself, right? Then there's stagnation. You're not growing because you're not doing. You know, it's the grass is the greener on the other side. Have you watered your own? Right? It's, you know, it's this whole idea of how are they able to do these things, right? And I found the answer. I'm so glad you're listening to this and watching this on YouTube, because I have the answer. Okay, pen and piece of paper out. This is gonna blow your mind. Okay, this is why this is how they're able to do it. We're gonna break the whole world right now. They just do it with no fear, no concern about what their friends, their family, their loved ones, their coworkers, hell, even the next door neighbor's dog is gonna say about what they want to do. They literally just go for it. And that right there is what separates the people that are going to be successful and the people that are not. The people that just like, you know what? I don't know where this is going, but this is what I want to do. And there we go. Jeff Bezos, do you think he would even have thought of the juggernaut that they are today when he literally created it in a back room on top of a desk made out of a door? I'll wait. There's so many success stories that I don't even have to go down that route. You know how these people just like, oh my gosh, they created something from nothing, and it's I can just go down and just people creating multi-billion-dollar companies from sleeping on a piss-stained mattress in the back of a vitamin store. Andy Frisella. There's so many stories out there, but this is the hack. This is what they do that 99.9% of the people will not do. They just do it. It sounds so elementary, so basic, but you know that's fact. There's also a mental exhaustion that comes with comparing ourselves. The comparing ourselves drains confidence and motivation, right? Because you can come home, you're like, oh, you're in a good mood. I've done it. Okay, again, calling myself out on my bullshit. You're starting looking at stuff and you're like, oh man, you know, these guys are doing this event. These people are doing this. They just got this new car, this new house. They just moved here. They just went on this vacation. Then after so much of that, you're just like, wow, I'm late on the bills. I can't do this. I don't have that. I wish I did. And just, holy crap. You just get mentally exhausted. And that, I believe, turns into a physical exhaustion of us not wanting to do what we want to do because we're just like, it just doesn't matter. Right? You know, I'm not there. I'm not them. Because you haven't done the work. You've got to do the work in order to get the end goal out of it, in order to get the prize. So, how do we refocus on our own growth? Right? I've been talking a lot about time. So let's start auditing it. Right? It's very important. If you're trying to start a business, you want to audit where your money's going, where your time's going, where's this going, right? You want to make sure everything's like, okay, make sure I'm not getting spread too thin. You will be, but you just want to try to see where everything's going. Well, audit your time. How much time are you consuming versus creating? And the phone time is massive. You know, I mean, you can create a massive business just from your phone. But hear me. You can also go down the rabbit hole of just sitting there wasting a shit ton of time scrolling through your phone. So you got to be very, very intentional with your time. If you are going to sit down and use it for your business or use it to grow, be intentional with it and audit that time to make sure you're doing that. You got to have the discipline. You got to have the motivation to do that. And know this is my time. It may, again, from the outside looking in, it might look like you're just playing on your phone. It's like, no, this is my time to get better. This is my time to grow. This is my time to work on this. And die on that sword. But don't waste your time. Audit it. Set your own scoreboard. I love, right? 100-0 mentality. You know, you want to beat your competition 100-0. Just smack them out. But you got to define your success, not someone else's. You know, just because they have the house and the cars and the this and the that doesn't mean that's that success for you. I saw something the other day that success to most is cars, money, houses, vacations, something like that, right? And what success really looks like is late mornings, breakfast in bed, time with family. It was just stuff like that, right? It's like, what is your definition of success, right? It's like, you ask so many people, what is success? I'm just a billionaire. Why? What is that? And it blows my mind. I'm in my 40s, okay? To be a millionaire growing up was like, oh, wow. I mean, millionaire is like, you're a millionaire? Loser, right? It's like, I got to be a billionaire. I mean, it's just like this whole paradigm shift is just like, but what does success look like to you, right? Is it being able to have a lazy morning? Is it to be able to sit at your kitchen table with your kids and build a life? Is it you being able to go on a really nice vacation a year? Is that success? And whatever that is, that's what you build on. Define your success. Action over analysis. Thinking won't change your life. Action will. You know, it's that Full Metal Jacket, right? Never go full retard. But there's something to be said in that, right? Is you just got to be like, you know what? I'm just going to go and I'm going to figure it out as I go. Well, how are you going to do it? I don't know. I'm just going to do it and figure it out. What if it fails? I don't know. Then I'll adjust. Well, what if? I don't know. Well, what if I do not know. But all I know is I am going to start and I will figure it out as I go. But the problem is we always like, like if you look up, I think it's like on Google, right? If you start typing in, what is the, right? It's what is the, then all of a sudden it's best this, best that, best. And that is the number one search that people are doing. What is the best? What is the best? What is the best? And it's like, you know what the best way to create a life that you want? Just start doing it. Oh, but I don't have the money. Okay. So reverse engineer. What can you do today? Can you connect with people that have the life and just start rubbing elbows with them? Yeah. People of success absolutely love showing you how it's done. Right? It's, friends and family are going to be like, oh, that cute little business or that cute little thing you want to do. I don't know, man. But you literally ask anybody that's done it and is very successful with it, they will literally, you tell them you want to do a business, and instead of your friends sitting there saying that, you shouldn't do this, or, oh, that's not you, I can't see you doing this, or even someone be like, oh, that's cool, man. Somebody that's actually built something worth a damn will be like, awesome. So how are you going to do it? What are you doing right now? And how are you going to grow it? They will literally come right back at you with that. That's the difference. Because they know it's like, all right, dude, lock in, get after it. And not every single day is going to be cupcakes, rainbows, and unicorns. That's just what it is. And that goes right into surrounding yourself with doers, not watchers. You're the sum of your environment. So many people I've talked to over the years, it's just like they want to do this, but they're like, I got to have this and this and this and this and this in order to do it. And it's like, dude, just do it. Why do you have to have all these things? Whatever you want to do, whoever's done it did not have all these things. They just did it and adjusted and built and built and reinvested and built and built and built. And then freaking Amazon's here taking over the world. God bless America. You just got to be around the people that are going to push you. Audit that circle. Be around the people that are doing, not the people that are just sitting in their freaking garage driveway on a cooler on a Saturday afternoon, drinking beer, talking about whatever sports team it is. Come on, people. And all right, little rant too. So many people I'm in LA. I could go up and down my street right now and just everybody be able to bat out the stats of every single player. Badass Luka's with the Lakers. That's so cool. Love that guy. Anyways, they know all the stats. They know all the rebounds. Football, soccer, whatever it is. They have all these stats, but they don't know the stats on them, on their life, on what they're doing. But they're so focused and vested into these other grown-ass men and women, but yet they don't know anything about them. That's a problem. And I love sports. I'm just saying we get so focused on others and stats and all this other stuff that we just sit and celebrate them while we're kind of miserable. Am I right? Think about that for a second. You have to build daily habits that compound. Small wins equal big changes. You don't have to, tomorrow I'm going to open up whatever it is, or I'm going to go and do this, I'm going to go and do that, and I'm going to achieve this. It's like, no, you can break it down into small chunks. You know what? Tomorrow I'm going to look at how to start a podcast. Tomorrow I'm going to go down and I'm going to go talk to this person. Or tomorrow I'm going to reach out to this athlete, see if they have any ideas of how I can be faster for this upcoming event. I'm going to reach out to, there's so many different things you can do just to move the ball down the field. Go back to sports. If you watch football, every single play is not a Hail Mary unless you're Aaron Rodgers. God, that man's awesome. Anyways, they just move the ball down the field. Unless you're like my Cowboys and you like to screw the pooch all the time. All right. Okay, I got to get off sports. Okay. But you got to move the ball down the field every single day. You can't just throw these Hail Marys because they really don't work. Like, I'm really sorry, guys. They just don't. So there needs to be this mind shift that happens, right? You got to go from a spectator to a competitor. Stop watching the game. See, right back on my sports bullshit, right? But you got to stop watching the game and you got to play in it, right? You got to do things every single day. And what's awesome is literally this was told to me 4 years ago. The greatest artists in the world copy. You want to do something somebody else is doing? Copy it. Literally. Like, what are they doing? You follow them every single day. What are they doing? Oh, they're doing that? I'm going to do that. Oh, they're doing this? I'm going to do this. Are you going on a vacation with them? Probably not. But could you post content like them? Yeah, you could. Could you tweak it in your own voice? Might as well. It resonates with you, right? Could you see what they're doing and how they're growing and how they're interacting with people and implement that in your life? Yeah. You will eventually grow into who you're supposed to be. The path is already paved. You just got to go down it. You see what they're doing, do the same. It's not that hard, right? Just do it. You got to go from this envy to an inspiration. If they can do it, so can you. Now you just got to get to work, right? Mr. Beast, YouTube guy, massive. That was an injustice. Dude's a beast. Dude's a monster on YouTube. Incredible stuff. But honestly, with all due respect, was he anything special in the beginning? No. He just did the work, did the reps every single day. Gary Vaynerchuk, he was known as the wine guy for over a decade. Now he's arguably probably the biggest authoritative in social media, right? Multiple businesses. I mean, there's so many things that you can just get inspiration from. No envy, right? And just look at it like, gosh, if they can do that, why can't I? And friends, I promise you, when you develop that mindset of if they can do it, so can I, it's not a dig. It's like, that's amazing what you're doing, and I want to do it also. You will get to such a place that is absolutely incredible. You just got to get to that place of if they can do it, so can I. There's no difference between them and me. They started somewhere too. I'm just starting right here, and that's okay. All right? It's okay to start where you're at. Don't compare your level 2 to somebody's level 9. Okay? Doesn't make sense. You go from the excuses to the execution. No one is coming to do this for you. So you can be your own hero. You can write your own book. You can do your own thing. You can do it in your own words. You can do it in your own way. You don't have to, even though we're watching how somebody's doing it and we're trying to emulate that, does not mean that is who you are and how you're going to do it. Your voice is different. The way you talk is different. The way you engage with people is different. The way you play sports is different. You're an individual. You're special. You have a gift. And the way you do it is not only are you going to be your own hero, you're going to be someone else's, right? Matthew McConaughey said it best, right? Somebody asked him, who's your hero? And he's like, my hero was 10 years from now. Then when he got 10 years older, they're like, well, who's your hero now? He's like, well, I'll tell you in 10 years. Then 10 years go by and they're like, okay, who's your hero now? It's been 20 years. And he's like, you know what? My hero is always that person 10 years in front of me that I'm chasing. So I'm never going to see him. But he's constantly trying to be better, right? So you have an opportunity to be your own hero. It's in all of this, to wrap it all up, is we live in a society right now where everything is insta-gratified, right? And highlight reels out the wazoo. You see the best of the best, the nicest things, the best things. But there's so much behind the scenes. And again, everybody's fighting their own battles. You just don't see it, and they don't air it out there. But I'm here to tell you that they're there. Every single person has them. And I promise you, if you're willing to take that step forward to work on what you want to become, it's going to be hard. But dude, it's going to be so, so beautiful. So I challenge you with this. For the next week, track your time. How much are you consuming versus creating it? Then I want you to shift that balance. But I also want you to, when you start thinking, and this is something for me too, When you start thinking about what you don't have and where somebody else is, just think of, if they can do it, so can I. If they can do this, so can I. Repeat it after me. If they can do it, so can I. Friends, I want you to go build, go execute, stop watching, and start growing. I believe you can do it. Friends, we can only grow to reach more people if you like, comment, share. If you're watching on YouTube, thumbs up. Subscribe so you don't miss another episode of the Strong Mind, Strong Body podcast. Follow me on Instagram at Coach Kevin Summers. And friends, I ask you this. Before you judge somebody, look for good. We live in a world where we allow others to cast opinions on how people are just by knowing a fraction of who they are. Everyone is fighting a battle. We all have a war within. You can choose to bring positivity to the world that will make the biggest positive impact. We'll talk to you next time.